Hey everyone, Mr. here. This is a guide for round 6 of the Manufacturer Series 2021 exhibition season. Let's get this started. Bring yourself to the right side of the track, and your first braking point is before you reach the 50-meter board. You can brake hard for a super short moment, then quickly ease off of the brakes just as you start to turn in. And you want to gradually apply a throttle so you can try to maintain a high exit speed and hopefully not hit the wall. Now bring yourself to the left side of the track, brake in between the 150 and the 100 meter board, brake hard for a short while, gradually ease off of the brakes as you turn in, and you can stay on a higher gear if possible. So in this case, I'd be in 3rd gear for the Viper, and just do constant throttle control. Don't play with it too much like how I am over here. You just want to make sure that the car is nice and stable, which will help you save your tire life. And don't get on the red and white curves as the track limits are pretty strict. Then brake just after you pass the 50-meter board, brake hard for a super short moment, then quickly ease off of the brakes. Nice and easy on the throttle so you make sure you don't hit the wall on the left. We'll quickly fast forward through this. This part can easily be taken flat out. Just turn in nice and gradual. Then bring yourself towards the left side of the track as you want to brake just after you pass the 150 meter board. You're going to be braking hard for a while, and this is also exactly where I start to brake. Brake hard for a short while, and once you're getting close to the hairpin, gradually ease off of the brakes and turn in. Nice and gentle on the throttle as you can get a lot of wheel spin coming out of the hairpin. Then bring yourself towards the left side of the track. Use the 50-meter board as your braking point and your turn in. And you just want to use a little bit of braking, not too much. You just want to fine tune the car. And then do lots of throttle control as you go through the rest of the S's. Bring yourself to the right and brake just as you go under the 50-meter board. Brake hard for a super short moment. Quickly ease off of the brakes to let the car rotate around a turn and carefully accelerate. But that is pretty much it for the lap guide. Let's go ahead and take a look at the strategies. For the qualifying session, you only have 5 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time. The weird thing about this track is that you spawn in the middle of your outlap, so you really only have a couple of turns to warm up your tires, and then you start your first qualifying lap almost right away. So you need to make sure that you warm up your racing soft tires right away. Also, slipstream is going to be crucial here. It'll help you shave off a lot of time because this track has many high-speed sections. So with the slipstream, it can be possible to accelerate faster, reach higher top speeds, but do brake a little earlier because you're going faster than usual. And if you do it right, it's probably even possible to get times as fast as your free practice time, or even go faster than your free practice time because slipstream is really strong in this game. So you want to be within the 3/4 of a second range of the car in front of you to engage with your slipstream. Also, if there's a Ford GT or a Nissan GTR in your lobby, make sure you find a way to become best friends with them because those two cars have really high top speeds. So those are going to come into play for them here at South Interloop, especially with the Ford GT because I think that's the fastest Group 3 car in terms of top speed. So you find a Nissan GTR and get behind them, awesome. If you get behind a Ford GT, that's even better. And in the event that you get really close to the car that you're slipstreaming, you could definitely take advantage of the bump drafting. So you bump them, they go faster, you go even faster, you bump them again, so on and so forth. Make sure you don't bump draft just before you reach a breaking point. But if you do it right, you can take advantage of the slipstream and the bump drafting, and you and the car that you're working with will be able to get some really fast qualifying times. And of course, if you're in a car that does not have a good top speed, then you really want to make sure that you take advantage of the slipstream because you're going to need it. Otherwise, you have a risk of getting a poor qualifying position solely because you don't have a good top speed. And whenever you're done with your qualifying session. So let's say that you got a good time in your first qualifying lap and you think you're done. You want to make sure that you change your tires to racing medium tires because you're going to go for a no stop. More on that later. So when you're done with your qualifying lap, just press options, exit, and then go on over to the little gear cog, and then you can switch on over to the racing medium tires. Make sure you switch the front tires first and then the rear tires because the game will not let you change the rear tires first. So change the front tires first to racing medium tires and then change the rear tires to the racing medium tires. But that's especially the case for the lobbies since there's no menu in between the qualifying and the race. But during the actual FI race, you can just wait until the qualifying session ends before you change tires. So you see me changing it just now. Press the little gear cog and then change the front tires and then the rear tires. You can also go to the little wrench, which I'll be doing in a moment. There you go. And you can change the front tires first and then the rear tires. So there's a couple ways to change the tires before your race starts. And once again, I just want to really make that point clear because this is a no stop race on the racing medium tires. But anyways, going over to the race, this is a grid start. I'm not joking, this is not an April Fool's joke. This is a grid start. Bring the traction control to 1, and right after the race starts, you can then bring it back down to 0 or whatever value you normally have it set to. Some cars are going to get a really bad start, like the Audi R8 right in front of me. It looks like their car didn't even start because their car has that turbo lag. So some cars are going to get a really good start, like the Ford GT, especially the Ford GT because I think that one has a supercharger. The Dodge Viper also gets a really good start. The Aston Martin that's behind me also got a good start as well. So some cars are going to have a really good start and gain a couple positions, but other cars are going to struggle. Also, because slipstream is a huge thing here, do be ready to brake early because I braked a little too late and I ended up punting the lobby host, and I'm surprised he didn't kick me for that. But anyways, so let's go on over to the race details. So we're doing 15 laps at Tokyo Expressway South Inner Loop. We are doing this in the Group 3 cars. The fuel is a ×2, so don't worry about the fuel, but the tire wear is a ×8, so tire wear will be a problem. We are given the racing soft and medium tires, but only the racing medium tires are required for this race. And as I mentioned earlier, you only want to qualify with the racing soft tires and then do the race on the racing medium tires because you're going for a no stop. So if you remember the Sardinia Sea race that we had a couple weeks ago for the manufacturer series, it's basically going to be similar to that, except you're in faster cars and there's a lot of high speed sections, so you're going even faster, and the tire wear situation is going to be worse. So you're going to want to be especially careful and try to do as much tire saving as you can. Also, slipstream is a huge thing here because there are many high speed sections, so you want to stay within the 3/4 of a second behind someone to engage with their slipstream, so your car will accelerate faster, reach higher top speeds. But do make sure that you brake a little earlier than usual because you're going much faster than usual. You can even take advantage of the slipstream to do a bit of tire saving, so assuming that there's no one behind you or they're not too close behind you, you can even brake just a little bit earlier and just try not to strain out your tires, and you'll be able to do a little bit of tire saving that way. You can also engage in bump drafting whenever possible and whenever it's safe. So you give the car a little bump, they go faster, and then you gain your speed back. So you guys are going faster and faster. So by working together through the bump draft, you can go even faster. You can break away from those behind you or even catch up to those ahead of you. So you want to try to make sure that you're not fighting too much. Especially at the start of the race, don't fight too much, just focus on working together and trying to keep up with the front of the pack because teamwork makes the meme work. So we're going to fast forward a lap later, and we've been bump drafting, I've been bump drafting the Aston Martin because my Viper is slow. But anyways, so we've been working together and we've been able to build up a pretty healthy gap between ourselves and third place and below. So this, once again, it shows how good the bump drifting can be, how good it can be to work with other people. And you can see me doing a bit of tire saving by being easier on the brakes and braking a little bit earlier. So once again, tire saving is going to be a huge thing for this race. And there are a couple spots, so at the end of the docks and the hairpin we just went through, where the tire wear is really going to make the car a bit squirmy. And it'll be worse depending on the car that you're in. So if you're in the Nissan GT-R, you do want to be a little more careful, especially when the tire wear is kicking in. So yeah, you just want to try to drive as smoothly as possible. Be nice and gentle on your inputs, whether it's turning inputs, braking inputs, throttle inputs. Just be nice and gentle and just try to not be too harsh on your driving style so you can try to save that tire life. So for example, we're at the end of lap 10, the tire wear has been kicking in and I'm getting into the 158s. You can also adjust the brake balance. So in this case, I had the brake balance at +3, but I think +2 is a little better for the Dodge Viper. So the rear tires are taking a bit of a hit, or a bit of a harder hit than the front tires. But the thing is that I want the front tires to last a little bit longer so I can do this pretty awesome thing called making a turn. This car can get pretty understeery, so when the tire wear really kicks in for the front tires, then this car has to slow down a lot just to make a simple turn. +2 may not work for everyone who's using the Dodge Viper, but you pretty much do want to go with a positive brake balance. So you might try a +1, that might work for you. For me, +2 was working. +3 can work, but that does make the rear tires wear out a little faster, so you do want to be careful if you do set it at +3 or higher. So once again, the brake balance, it'll be different between each car and driving style. So for example, the Honda NSX, it'll benefit more with a negative brake balance value, so towards the front of the car, because the rear tires wear out a lot faster than the front tires. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is why you don't want to do a one stop. So in this run, I was doing the racing soft into racing medium tires. So I'm in the middle of lap 8. My tires are pretty much done for, and I'm losing about a second per lap now, so it's time for me to pit. And the pit stop is in the middle of the hairpin, so you want to turn in a bit, but don't make the turn all the way. Like if you're going to continue another lap, you just want to drive into the parking garage, and that's where the pit stop is. Now, I don't know why, the entrance is literally like 100 feet from the pit box. I don't know what's going on. I think the driver went to the bathroom or something. It takes 18 seconds for the car to reach the pit box, and you're going to end up losing 25 to 26 seconds. Your pit loss is almost half a minute long. And even though you're going to be going faster on the newer set of tires, whichever you're on, because your fuel is pretty much half empty, you're not going to be able to make up enough time to make up the positions to get back to where you were before you pitted. So is the one stop worth it? Definitely not. I did do a couple of custom races just to get a good idea of how slow the one stop was, and it was about 13 seconds slower than the no stop. And this is also going to be even worse if the no stoppers on the racing medium tires are able to stay within your slipstream. Because if you start the race on the racing soft tires and those doing the no stop are able to stay within your slipstream after the first couple of turns, so towards the back street that goes through the tunnels, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because they're going to be able to keep up with you. They can do their tire saving for free. They can keep up with you. They barely even have to do anything. And by the time you pit, they're going to pass you. And when you come out of the pit stop, they're going to be long gone. So the one stop is not worth it. You want to try your best to tire save as much as you can on the racing medium tires. And it's not going to be an easy thing to do, but it's very possible to do. And if you need words of encouragement, I believe in you. You could definitely tire save your way to a no stop on the racing medium tires. Gosh, that sounded so weird because I'm sick right now, so my voice is like not there. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at places to overtake in the penalty steering zone. The main straight is a potential place to get an overtake done. You just want to try to get past the car you're trying to pass before you have to brake for the turn, because any long battles will cost you a lot of time and potentially the slip of the car that is ahead of you. This straight is also another good place to get the overtake done. And once again, just try not to battle it too much through here, because especially if you go battling a lot or go too wide through the docks, you're going to lose a lot of time. There's only one penalty steering zone, and it's after the docks, so it's right here. So surprisingly, you will probably not lose that much time if you have to serve a penalty. Luckily, there's no penalty steering zones on any of the high-speed sections, because if there was a penalty steering zone at the high-speed sections, then you'd lose a catastrophic amount of time. This part, the tunnels, you don't really want to battle it through here. This is more of a single file line, but an opportunity to overtake does come up as soon as you reach this part that leads to the hairpin. And you could definitely take advantage of the slipstream to try to get side to side with the car that you're trying to pass, get the inside line, try to get a good exit, and then make the pass complete. Then after that, this is more of a single file line. Try not to battle out through here as well, because it's pretty easy to lose a lot of time if you're starting to fight it out through the final turns. And on the final lap, you could definitely try to get an overtake at this final turn. But anyways, qualify on the racing soft tires, then change on over to the racing medium tires, because you want to do a no stop on the racing medium tires. And once again, slipstream is key, tire saving is also key. But anyways, that's all from me. I'm going to go ahead and go to bed now. So this is MCA trying to feel better, and I'll see you in the next video.